I'm life and business coach Samantha Sifring, and this is the Online Business Building Mamas podcast, where you learn how to build a wildly successful business from home while raising kids. Hey mamas, welcome to another episode of the podcast. Okay, this week is so fun. Time Redesigned is officially open. You can buy your tickets now. I am so pumped to bring this training to you, and here's why. All of you struggle with time. This is what you constantly tell me. You are all struggling to manage time, to get the things done that you want to get done, to hit your goals, to balance that with the time that you want to spend with your family. None of you want to be working crazy hours, 50, 60 plus hours a week. You want to have time with your family. You don't want to be working on weekends. You want to get a handle on your time, and it feels impossible. This is what you are all telling me. And you look at my life, and not just my life now, where I have a stay-at-home dad, Stuart, as my partner, who helps me immensely all the time, but how I did it before, when I built that first 100K and had 3 young kids. One of them was still home most of the time. I had interruptions for snacks and changing the channel and can you help me with my toy? Can you do this? Can you do that? Wipe my butt, all the things, all day long. There was not these vast periods of uninterrupted time that we imagine when we think about running a business. And you want to know how I did it. And I want to teach you. I want to teach you everything that I know about time. I want you to never struggle with time again. I want you to never say that you're too busy again. I never want you to say that you don't have enough time ever again. I want you to feel like you are in complete control over your time. And I'm going to teach you this in a way that you have never seen or heard before. Nobody else is talking about this. You're going to learn what you think about time management that's actually sabotaging you. Why it's not just as simple as asking for help and what to do about that, especially in the time of COVID. You are going to learn how to get bigger results in your business in less time than you ever have. This is actually going to go against what you've been taught before, most likely. You're going to learn how to prevent sitting down to work and then not knowing what to do. I know that happens to so many of you. You get this precious work time, you get some childcare on the calendar, and you sit down and you don't know what to do. You're totally frozen. I'm going to help you make sure that never happens again. I'm going to help you make a plan that's actually going to get done, not just be a decorative plan. I know we have all had decorative plans and decorative to-do lists before. And I am going to teach you how specifically I made 100K during school hours with a little one still at home. This is happening March 22nd through 24th. It's a 3-day live pop-up experience. It is going to be unlike anything you have ever done before. And the best thing of all is that this experience is only $7. It's a no-brainer. I have never offered anything like this before. I've never taught these concepts before. You have never seen anything like this before. And I may never do it live like this ever again. So you want to buy your ticket. We will link it up, but we have it set up to be time.samanthasifring.com. So you can go there, you can quickly buy your ticket, you can be in, and we can start hanging out together on the 22nd of March, completely redesigning your time. So today's podcast topic also has to do with time. And there was a post in Mama to CEO a couple months ago now, maybe like 6 weeks ago. My client, Jessica Klasnick, she posted this incredible thing that completely blew my mind. And when I read her post, I was like, I have to do a podcast about this like immediately. Like this has to happen. And we had a schedule for our content and our topics and all of that. So it had to wait until now. And I'm actually really thankful because it is so perfect for this season of talking about time. And I think it will be so fun for Jessica to hear this and be reminded of how absolutely mind-blowing and fantastic she is and her accomplishment in January really was. Sometimes when we achieve really big things and then we have some space after achieving it, we kind of get used to it and we kind of just forget. One of the consultants that I've been working with lately mentioned this. I was talking about my big mastermind launch and having another multiple six-figure launch. And he was just like amazed at the level of emotion that I didn't have about it. He was like, you could be excited about this. And it's not that I wasn't excited. It was just like, yeah, that happened. And I think that it's so easy for us to get kind of immune to our own accomplishments and forget to stay in that fun energy, that excitement, that celebration that we want to be in. And when we're in that celebration energy, we end up being so much more magnetic to our clients to get more clients. So I just thought I would share that as well. Okay, I'm going to read Jessica's post and then I'm going to share with you the things that I want you to take from it. So here's what Jessica said in Mama to CEO. I knew my schedule in January wasn't going to allow me to dedicate much time to Mama to CEO. I decided ahead of time, instead of letting myself get all stressed about it like usual and just power through it and burn myself out, that I was going to pick one thing to implement and commit to that. I did. I followed Samantha's advice around setting a goal, working on your commitment, and then confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10 and feeling into what you need to think to be a 10 every single day. I didn't miss one day, not on vacations, not weekends, and I am so excited that I reached my goal of 10K this month. I closed 10K last week and have another 2,500 coming in. Eek! I can't imagine not doing my business without this tool now. I just can't thank you enough, Samantha. It shifted so much and really feeling into it was such a game changer. So I just thought this was genius for so many reasons and I wanted to share it. And here is the main reason why. Most of us, because we have human brains and we're not robots, underestimate the impact of one thing. We have this idea that we think that we have to know and do all the things, when really one thing can be the thing that shifts everything for you. Can you imagine changing one thing in your business and then making 10K from it this month? Like really, I want you to think about that. Implementing and changing one thing, 10K month. Can you imagine? I want you to believe that that is possible because that is how you do it. Most of us do the burnout cycle that Jessica talked about. We pile on all the things that we have to know and do. And then we try to power through it. And that works for a little while. And we start to see momentum sometimes. But then we burn out. And then we withdraw and we have to recover. And that withdrawal and recovery period slows down or stops our momentum. And by the time we've fully recovered, we start this whole cycle again. And we do it with a lot of beating ourselves up about the time that we took off. So then we pile on all over again, and we power through and we burn out all over again. So many of you are living your business in this burnout cycle over and over and over. You need to stop. Here's what you need to do instead. You need to have a simple plan, and you need to constrain your energy and attention to following that plan. You need to stay focused on that plan and work your belief that one thing is what makes all the difference. I did this training about a year ago now, and I had on the board, it was like a webinar training. I had on the board a circle with a line coming out of it, going all the way to the goal. Like across the paper, all the way to the goal, that line went. And then I had another circle, and it had a bunch of arrows coming out of it. And if you added up all the different arrows, it would add up to the same amount of length that went all the way to the goal on that first example. But they were spread in so many directions that they didn't really get anywhere. There wasn't anything that was deep. Like it was like spread out. There was lots of different directions, but none of them went deep. None of them went all the way to the goal. Hopefully you can all get that picture in your mind from my description. But when you have a simple focus on one thing, it's like that arrow that goes all the way to the goal instead of trying to pile on all the different things that doesn't get you anywhere. So I want you to really focus on this. The consistency of one simple thing over time is what creates big results. Now here's what happens. That one thing that maybe you focused on 1 month, you master it. It becomes who you are. It becomes part of your daily operations. It's just like brushing your teeth. You're like, yep, I just do that every day. I don't have to focus on it. It just happens because it's part of who I am, like breathing and sleeping and eating. It's just what I do. Once the one thing becomes like that, you can start mastering a new thing. But you want to wait until you've really taken that into who you are, okay? I want you to really understand that that one thing can be the thing that shifts everything for you. I have a really fun example of this from my life. I have been working on losing weight with my life coach. She helps me with everything. We work on parenting, money beliefs, weight loss, relationships, every single thing. And my focus since the beginning of the year has been losing weight. I went into the doctor, was weighing a lot more than I thought that I was, and was like, whoa, okay, it's time to put some attention and intention into this. So I knew that I had done a bunch of diets before. I knew that they had worked, but I also knew I had gotten to this situation. So I didn't really want that to happen. And also, I just didn't feel very motivated to do a super restrictive diet. That's what I had always done before. And I was just like, you know what? Life's too short to like not enjoy food. And if I'm just always going to be gaining it back, I need to figure out something else anyway, because I don't want to yo-yo for my whole life and go through these periods of time where I'm either depriving or enjoying food. So I talked to her about it. We started off with intuitive eating. And the main thing that I'm really doing here is paying attention to my body and my hunger and fullness cues. That is pretty much the main thing that I'm doing. So I eat at a certain point on the hunger scale, and I stop eating at a certain point on the hunger scale. And the hunger scale is a tool that I'm using. If you're interested in this, I have several clients who do intuitive eating. We can refer you. Just email us. We would love to send you some excellent referrals for this. But this is like the basic premise of what I am doing. And it has now been about 2 months that I've done this. And for this episode, I wanted to look this up because I'm just doing that one simple thing. I am being more mindful about how much I'm eating and when I'm eating, and I'm listening to my body. This is the one thing that I'm focused on. And initially, I was like, I feel like my weight is kind of staying the same. Or like it'll go down a little bit and then it'll go up a little bit. It didn't ever feel like when I would do those restrictive diets in the past and I would like lose 8 pounds in like 3 weeks or something. It wasn't like that. There wasn't that instant gratification. But I told myself, even if I only lose like 1 pound a month, in 10 months, I'll be down 10 pounds. If I lost 2 pounds a month, that would be 20 pounds in 10 months. And if I lost weight at that like slow of a pace, I would probably have mastered the habits and lifestyle to maintain that weight for the rest of my life. Like that just clicked into place in my mind. And so that's what made me do it. And I just looked, like I said, before this episode, and I have lost 8 pounds in the past 2 months that I've been doing this. So 4 pounds a month on average, way more than I was thinking initially. And it has felt easy. I have had pizza. I have had tacos. I have had donuts. I have had cake. I've had cookies. Everything that you think that you can't have, I have been having. I've had takeout as much as I want. It has been so fun and amazing. And I'm getting the results that I want because of focusing on that one thing. And I've been able to sustain it for 2 months without feeling restrictive, without burning out, without going on some cheat binge, because I'm just focusing on that one simple thing. I think it is such a good link to what we do in business to think about just focusing on that one simple thing. It could be the thing that shifts everything for you. All right, time for you to go sign up for Time Redesigned. This idea of having a simple plan and focusing on one thing is something that we're going to touch on during Time Redesigned. I am going to help you really dig into how to actually do that and what that looks like in practice and what to do when your kids interrupt your carefully crafted work time, which I know has happened to all of you because you have kids, you have a real life. And this is going to be time advice for a real life so that you can have the life and business that you really, really want. All right, I will see you back here again next week. If you like this podcast, I want to invite you to coach with me over in my program, Mama to CEO. There's you, and there's the consistent income you want to make in your business, and I help you remove everything standing in between. It's lifetime access for mastering your marketing, sales, time, and everything else you need to have the business and life you really want. Whether it's making your first 1,000 or 100,000, I can help you do it. To join, go to mamatoceo.com, mamatoceo.com.